Good morning, gang. Happy Friday, Friday the 13th. Okay, today is the supposed day of rage. And for us, that should just be a day of vigilance. Now, obviously, here it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. It's already lunch in Europe. Okay. And so far, at least what I'm seeing, and God knows the media is slow to report things, we've seen massive protests in France. That's about the extent of what I've seen. Now, France has the largest Jewish and the largest Islamic population in Europe. So, but looking at some of these protests, they are huge. I have not heard of any violence yet, which is a good thing. Okay. Let's hope to God we don't have any. That's my point. But like anything else, am I just going to go around with blinders on and say, nothing going to happen? No. Okay. Sun hasn't even come up yet here in Eastern time zone. I mean, we're just getting close here. But what's possible in the United States? The two biggest countries, if you will, that this day of rage is supposed to target are Israel and the United States. No, we're not there yet. And, hey, everybody's got to get out of bed, do whatever. Not that a strike in the middle of the night wouldn't be terrorizing in itself, but usually daytime is a little more likely. So, again, be careful. Now, the funny part is people will say, oh, you're just fear porn, everything like that. No, that's not what I'm telling everybody. Just be vigilant today. If the enemy is going to tell you what their plans are, prepare for it. Okay. To give you this, as of July this year, okay, and again, this is official numbers, Border Patrol has said they have captured 216 people on the terrorist watch list trying to come across the southern border. That compares to 165 that came across all of last year. Right? So we've already got 50% more in the first half of this year than we had all of last year. If you look at some of these stories, it's now coming out that Hamas had been planning this attack on Israel for months. How it slipped by everybody's intelligence, who knows? Israeli intelligence, U.S. intelligence, anything. How did that happen? Don't know. Well, if they can slip by probably one of the most secure countries in the world's intelligence force, in Israel, they can certainly slip through any other countries by using the same tactics. I'm not saying to live your life in fear by any means. But what I am looking at is, again, being vigilant. Have you given thought of what you would do? Now, I'm not expecting anybody to come attack a house, but if you're anywhere near a synagogue, a Jewish deli, any sort of business like that. I mean, and again, you could think about a building that has lawyers' offices, doctors' offices, anything like that. That's got, the sign up on it, that says, I don't know, pick something, Berkowitz and Associates or something. Yeah, you could possibly be in an area that is a little more on watch. Now, I'll give you this. This is kind of interesting. The Department of Homeland Security and at least New York City officials are saying they don't have any credible threats to anything possibly going on today. And that's supposed to put the public's mind at ease, right? Because did we have any forewarning about 9/11? Regardless of what you believe in it. Okay? I'm just saying. No, It just happened. Did Israel have any credible threats before last weekend? No. I mean, you had Jake Sullivan come out and say a week before the Middle East is as safe as it's been in decades. Obviously, we had no credible threats going forward. That doesn't mean something can't happen. So then you look at the contradiction, which we get all the time. And you can go and search this yourself. I mean, I'm going to avoid links because, of course, YouTube would probably get on me saying I'm promoting something or whatever. But if you go just do a Google search for Day of Rage, you will see stories that Washington, D.C. is beefing up security. Los Angeles is beefing up security. New York says there's no credible threats, yet they're beefing up security. So, just the first page of searches, and I can come up with all of that. Does that mean something's going to happen? No. Does that mean that we should walk around and go, you know what? Ain't no big deal. This was all a bluff. Terrorists don't bluff, okay? They have a tendency to do. And I think we saw proof this week. So what would you do in a situation where something happened? Okay? I mean, and I couldn't even begin to tell you all the different ideas they have. But if there is shooting all of a sudden, get out of there, okay? Don't try to play Billy Badass and start firing back, okay? If you're trapped, fire back. Otherwise, try to get the hell away. If all of a sudden you're walking into a store and there's a fire, we'll just leave it at that. You guys can figure out what I'm talking about to avoid using certain terms. Get out of there, okay? Yeah, maybe if you're a first responder by trade, you can engage. But no, don't try to play hero. This is it. You are much more useful alive than dead. Now, if somebody's injured or whatever, and you have the ability to help, certainly help. But don't try to, hey, you know what? I saw a Rambo movie on TV and, I can go through and do this. No. I mean, there's a reason why, SEAL Team 6 or Delta Force or, hell, any 11 Bravo, any Marine or whatever goes through all the training that they do for urban combat. You and I don't have that, okay? So don't pretend that we do. Don't try to be some get your 15 seconds of fame or whatever, because your 15 seconds of fame being the headline of the news tomorrow morning as they show your body laying in the street and having you fitted for a new suit. That's not the thing we want. So today, be vigilant. Be careful, a little more careful than normal. Okay? It would be a good day to stay away from crowds. I know this is Friday, payday for people. And hey, I'm going to stop on the way home, go grocery shopping or whatever. Depending on where you are, maybe safer or not. I mean, terrorists don't have a tendency to go attack, some little tiny town with 1,200 people in it. That's not their MO. They go for, bigger places where they get a bigger bang for their buck. Just be careful today. The only thing I've seen so far is huge protests in Paris, but it's still early. Just be careful. Well,